सो गुड इवनिंग गाइस। सकाळ थरे भेट होइथिला पुणी आज थरे भेट हेलानी। ओके तो चलो सकाळे आईटी स्टूडेंट्स माने समस्त पचारथिले जे समानकर केतळे क्लास हबो। चलो एबे ही आमे स्टार्ट कर दोचे एंड राइट नाउ इट इज जस्ट अ नॉर्मल एमसीक्यू डिस्कशन क्लास। ओके सो बहुत गुडे एमसीक्यूस आमे बाहर करछु आपन को सिलेबस रो जोडे कि एक्सपेक्टेड हेई पारे जे क्वेश्चन आसीबो। ओके तो एडा होचे फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन। Okay, if everyone is able to see the screen, just give a yes. समस्ते screen जदि देखि पारुचंदी and मो voice को सुनी पारुचंदी, just give a yes. So I will be able to understand. Screen को देखि पारुचंदी की? If my voice आपनो पाखरे पहुंची पारुची and आपन screen को देखि पारुचंदी, so just give a yes. Okay, so let's start with the questions first. These are not only for the IT, computer science रो जो मनकर भी database and SQL अच्छी सेमान को पाइन भी applicable. So it's better that समस्ते computer science होंतु किंबा IT होंतु टिके ध्यान दियोंतु and try to solve the question. Let's start with it. So which of the following is generally used for performing tasks like creating the structure of the relations, deleting relation? So के कहि परिबे which of these task can make this task happen? First is your DML, second query, relational schema and DDL. I am waiting for the answer. Okay, just one. DDL. Okay. Which of the following is generally used for performing tasks like creating the structure of the relations and deleting relations? Correct. That's DDL. DDL means data definition language. This data definition language is actually used to define the structure of the table. Okay, so whatever the table we are creating and whatever the kind of relationship we are creating between the tables is actually the task of this DDL, data definition language. Understood everyone? So now the next question. Which of the following provides the ability to query information from the database, insert tuples into and delete tuples from, and modify tuples in the database? So which of this one will be applicable to perform this task? Better visible हेई पारुची आपण मनको? So question रहिला that which of this following provides you the ability? DML. Correct. That's correct. That's correct. This is DML, data manipulation language. That's correct. So that we can manipulate the data the way we want or the data required. So now, what do you mean by one-to-many relationships? What do you mean by one-to-many relationships? One class may have many teachers. One teacher can have many classes. Many classes may have many teachers, or many teachers may have many classes. Okay, so which one from this four? What do you mean by one-to-many relationships? C कौन प्रोवाइड करिवो कि many classes may have many teachers, तो एटा many to many relationship हैला. That's correct. It is B. Okay, one teacher can have many classes. Next, which of the following refers to the number of tuples in a relationship? Which of this one? Answer କଣ ଆସୁଛି? Okay, which of the following refers to the number of tuples in a relationship? That is actually entity, not column, not the cardinality, but the entity. Remember this one? This one is the last one is the entity. Okay, next, which one of the following is a type of data manipulation command? Which of these actually helps you to manipulate the data? Create, alter, or delete? Or all of the above? Create, alter, or delete? Create, alter, or delete, which helps you to manipulate the data? This one is the delete, which helps you to manipulate the data, which actually changes the whole data. Okay, which of the following command is a type of data definition language command? DDL. Which one out of these? Okay, so this one is create. Okay, create is the data definition language. Next one, which of the following is used to denote the selection operation in relational algebra? If anyone has studied the relational algebra, what answer? Which one? Which of the following is used to denote the selection operation in relational algebra? It's a selection process. Selection operation. Selection operation pai amra use हुए pi. For the selection operation, we are using the pi. Okay, the operation denoted by the question mark allows us to find the tuples that are in one relation but are not in another. Operation da kon lekha heichi dhyan se padha tar answer debaku chesta karo. The operation denoted by allows us to find tuples that are in one relation but are not in another. That's difference. When you are trying to find out the difference between the tuples, then that allows to find the tuples that are in one relation but not in the other. That happens in difference. Okay. Next, which of the following can add a row to a table? Adding a row to a table. Adding a row to a table. That's correct. It's C, insert. Insert command helps us to add a whole row into a table. Which of these commands will delete a table called triple X if you have an appropriate authority to delete the whole table. To delete the whole table. Okay, it's drop table. It's drop table. Okay. Drop table, table name. Okay, this is the actual syntax to delete a table from the database. Next, which of the following is not available in MySQL? Which of the following is not available in MySQL? Anyone? Yes, that's correct. It's B. Fetch. Fetch is not available in the MySQL. But revoke, like, and join, all these three are there in the MySQL. Which keyword is the synonym for database? Which keyword is the synonym for database? That's correct. It's C. Again, DB. DB. Okay. So, DB is the synonym for database. Next one. What is ABC in the following SQL statement? Delete from XYZ where ABC equal to 5. So, ABC is a column name, or table name, or row name, or database name. What is this one? This ABC. ABC is a column name here. ABC is the column name here, where column name equal to 5, sorry, column name is equal to 5, means column ro value jetol 5 habo, to data tomaro delete habo. What is the value of val2 in the following MySQL statement? Update T, set val1 equal to val1 plus 2, comma val2 equal to val1. Kiye kahi paribo? D. Do you feel it is D? Val1 equal to val1 plus 2, comma val2 equal to val1. It is actually the updated value 1. First con heichi eti diya heichi set val1 equal to val1 plus 2, means whatever the value of 1 was there, value of 1 plus 2 has been happened, seita set kara hala, set hei sala pare value 1 jaichi value 2 ku, value 2 equal to value 1 throw. So whatever the updated value 1 is there, after adding the 2, that value will come to the value 2. So this is the updated one, updated value 1. Okay. Next question. Which keyword is used to delete all the rows from the table? To delete all the rows from the table. बहुत easy da. Which keyword is used to delete all the rows from the table? This is the truncate. A. We have 3 delete commands. One is delete, another one is drop, another one is truncate. Delete is to delete the rows from the table based on the condition. Drop to delete the whole table or to whole database, we are using the drop command, and truncate to delete all rows from the table, but the table not get deleted. Okay, so only 3 we are using in MySQL. Next, okay, so till now we were studying about the MySQL and database questions till now. Now we are starting with the IT applications, and this is specifically for the IT one. An error in computer data is called. An error in computer data is called the most easiest one. An error in computer data is called. That's bug. As there is the bug, so we are trying to debug. So bug. Okay. Next, which hole is used to mark the location of the first sector in a soft sector disk? IT students माने आंसर दे परिबा कथा कहीं कि IT students के आंसर दो नहंती. Which hole is used to mark the location of the first sector in a soft sector disk? It is index. It is the answer B, index. Okay. A microprocessor chip used in a PC system. A microprocessor chip used in a PC system. What is the answer? A microprocessor chip used in PC system. It's the performs the arithmetic logic and control function. A microprocessor chip used in the PC system. World Wide Wave, एटा तो समस्ते कहि परिबा कथा. What is the meaning of this World Wide Wave? What is World Wide Wave? World Wide Wave. It's a collection of linked information residing on computers connected by the internet. Okay. जल्दी जल्दी करो चलो. Which of the following describes the e-commerce? Which of the following describes the e-commerce? Which of the following describes the e-commerce? Doing business electronically. Doing business electronically. That best suits to the e-commerce one. Which of the following is not one of the major types of e-commerce? Which of the following is not one of the major type of e-commerce? That's A. C to B. Okay, that's A. Not D, that's C to B. Which of the following is not considered to be one of the 3 phases of the e-commerce? Which of the following is not considered to be the one of the three phases of the e-commerce? That's preservation. We are not, we can innovate, we can consolidate, we can reinvent, but we are not preserving anything in the e-commerce. Okay. Which segment do eBay, Amazon.com belong to? So out of these segments, which segment this Amazon.com and eBay are getting included? Faster, as much faster you will answer, that much faster we will move, because we have a lot of questions to solve now. Any answer? I'm not able to see any answer from your side. That's correct. It B2C. That's correct. Okay, so which type of e-commerce focuses on consumers dealing with each other? Consumers dealing with each other. Which type of e-commerce? What is okay. It's consumers dealing with each other, means consumers to consumers. So C2C, consumers to consumers. The best products to sell in B2C e-commerce are, the best products to sell in B2C e-commerce. What will be the best one? What will be the best one? Don't worry, computer science, we will start after finishing this one. After discussing all the questions we have, we will start with it. Okay. So the best product which we can sell in B2C is, most everyone knows about it, that is digital products. Which of the following is not a key element of a business model? Which is not a key element in the business model? Faster, I'm waiting for the answer. Is it A, B, C or D? Whether it is value proposition, whether it is competitive advantage or market strategy or universal standard, which one? Which is not a key element of universal standard? That's correct. It is. The universal standard is not the key element for the e-commerce. Next, which of the following is not a limitation of the current market? Which is not the limitation for the current market? Universal standard has over. Now the second question, which of the following is not a limitation of the current market? Insufficient capacity throughout the backbone, network architecture limitations, insufficient reach, or best efforts QoS? It's insufficient reach. Okay, it's insufficient reach. Next, which of the following is a new and disruptive wave feature or service? Which one is the disruptive one? Which one is the disruptive one? XML, DiffServ, blogs or CDMA? Which one is the disruptive one? That's blocks, the disruptive one. Which of the following is a useful security mechanism when considering business strategies and IT? Which of the following is a useful security mechanism? कोड़ा हमरो security mechanism रे involved होची. Both फिलहाल को IT चलीची. Next we are starting with the CS. Okay, so which of the following is useful security mechanism? Encryption, decryption or firewall? That's actually D, all of the above. That's correct. It's actually D, all of the above. Next, which of the following statements accurately reflects the impact of the technology? Which of the following statement accurately reflects the impact of technology? Again D. Are you sure, everyone? Technology has caused buyer power to increase. Technology has lessened the entry barriers for many industries. Technology has increased the threat of substitute products and services, or all of the above. That's true, all of the above. Correct. Next, how do the transactions occur in e-commerce? How do the transactions occur in e-commerce? How do transactions occur in e-commerce? Using computers only, or using mobile phones only, or using any of the e-media? This is actually A, using e-medias, whatever the e-medias you had available. Which type of products is laser purchased using e-commerce? Laser purchased using e-commerce. That's A, correct. Automobile has laser purchased using the e-commerce. All of the following are factors in optimizing website performance except which one? Page retrieval, page generation, page delivery, or page content? All of the above, all of the following, are factors in optimizing website performance. So which one is not getting included in that list? That's correct. That is page retrieval. A business competing in a commodity-like environment must focus on which of the following? Commodity. Come on guys, जल्दी जल्दी. जितना जल्दी आप करोगे उतना ही जल्दी हम लोग खत्म करेंगे यहाँ पे. A business competing in a commodity-like environment must focus on which of the following? It should focus on price, ease or speed of the delivery, ease of the ordering. So all of the above. So option D for this one. A strategy designed to compete in all markets around the globe is called a day strategy. Designed to compete in all markets around the globe. Which strategy? A strategy designed to compete in all markets around the globe is called a day strategy. It's a scope strategy. Okay. Which of the following is not one of the stages of the development of the internet? Which of the following is not one of the stages of development of internet? Anyone? Which of the following is not one of the stages of the development of the internet? That's globalization. Globalization, innovation is there. Institutionalization, of course, was there. Jadi mane thiba to internet has started from America. There are institute. Okay. Then commercialization also happened for the internet. But globalization, it is not part of the invention. Now, which protocol permits users to transfer files from a server to their client computer and vice versa? Which protocol? Is it HTTP or SMTP or IMFP or FTP? Which protocol permits users to transfer files from a server to their client computer? That's correct, FTP. Okay, file transfer protocol is the correct option. DACE is a program that you can run in the Windows operating system in order to check the connection between your client and the server. Your client and the server, you need to check the connection. So which program will help you out? FTP has finished. Let's come to the next question. DACE is a program that you can run in the Windows operating system. Which one? It's D, all of the above. All of the above. Well, here you can just ping to the client and try to know whether he is there or not. Very easy. Which of the following is not a limitation of the current internet? Which of the following is not a limitation for the current internet? Insufficient capacity throughout the backbone, network architecture limitations, insufficient reach, or best efforts QoS. So which of the following is not a limitation of the current internet? Is not a limitation for the current internet. That's insufficient reach. It can reach out to anywhere if we want to. So which of the following was the first commercial web browser? एटा बोधे समस्ते जानथिबे आ मु एक्सपेक्ट करछि जे करेक्ट आंसर समस्ते देबे एठे. Which of the following was the first commercial web browser? Which one? Okay. So it's Netscape Navigator. Who has given the option C? Who has chosen the option C? That's correct. It's Netscape Navigator. Next, a DACE describes the flow of the information at your e-commerce site and the infrastructure that will be used in the system. So which design describes the flow of information? Of course, it's not system design. We are not designing the system. Well, it's not about the tactical design also. Okay, tactics is something different. Then physical design, we are not physically designing anything over here. So what left? What left then? We are not designing any system here. We are not designing any of the software or system, but it's a logical design that describes the flow of information. Logical design means through the flow chart we were actually trying to design the logic of any of the flow. All of the following are factors in optimizing the website performance, except this one had already completed, I think. Okay, now the largest component in website budget is the largest component in website design. Sorry, website budget. Which one? The largest component in website budget is system maintenance, because we need to maintain the system for a longer period of time, and for that reason we have to put our budget and focus both on the maintenance of the system. Next, which of the following measures the percentage of the people exposed to an online advertisement who actually click on the banner? Which of the following measures the percentage of the people exposed to an online advertisement? It is बहुत easy. C. Okay, that's really correct. Click through rate. That will measure the percentage. Next. Okay, so till this much was about the e-commerce one. Next, whatever we are supposed to learn is about the HTML based pages. Okay, so whoever is the expert in the HTML, which of the following tag is used for line breaks in the documents? Line break, which one? Of course, P is not the one. Am I correct? BR, that's right, that's correct. B option. BR is to give the breaks in between the HTML pages. Which of the following tag is used for new paragraph? New paragraph. Okay, for the new paragraph, for the new paragraph, 1B. Okay, now for question number 2, that's correct, is P. Okay, option A, P. Next one, which of the following tag is not an empty tag? Is not an empty tag. Which one of the following? Is it P, BR, HR or LI? Is not an empty tag. Which one? That's correct. It's A. That's the option A, P. Okay. Next, which of the following is not a web browser? এটা তো বহুত ইজি, এটা যে বি আনসার দিয়ে পারেনি মূর্খ। Okay, which of the following is not a web browser? Arey, who is writing this A, C, B? That's correct. The option D, Notepad, is not a web browser, but Netscape Navigator. If you had remembered, যদি মনে পড়ছে সমস্তଙ୍କୁ just ଆ ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଆମେ discuss କରିଥିଲେ যে the first web browser was the Netscape Navigator. Internet Explorer, of course, we had used. Mozilla Firefox, आज भी use କରୁଛେ. So only one was left, that is Notepad. Which of the following tag is used for bold facing the test? Bold facing. bold facing. Fifth number question, come to the fifth number question. Which of the following tag is used for bold facing the test? That's strong, correct. That is option B, strong. Next one, which of the image file extension cannot be inserted in the web page? Which of the image file extension GIF, JPG or JPEG? Which one? Which of the image file extension cannot be inserted in the web page? That's correct, devil. Okay, devil 1.0, that's correct. It's option A, .pcd. Now, you can insert base images in your web pages. How many means? What is the limit of inserting the images in your web page? What is the limit? There is no such limit to insert an image in your web page. Okay. The next one. Which HTML tag would be used to display power in expression x to the power n plus y equal to 10? Which HTML tag has been used to write this power x to the power n? X to the power n. If whoever, जदि केही भी जने MS Word भी use करिसेंती लिखिबा पई for the power, he will definitely know about it. Yes, that is correct. SUP, superscript and subscript. So here it is superscript because it is coming over the alphabet. Now choose the correct HTML code to create an email link. To create an email link, which of this code can be used? See it perfectly and answer me. Nine number, which one? ठीक है, ध्यान से देखो. ठीक है, ध्यान से देखिए, आंसर करो. Which HTML code can be written to create an email link? What is the answer? A, B, C? Sagnika Priya Pradhan. That's correct. Your answer. That is AHREF equal to, within the double quotes, mail to $x@y.com. Okay. That's 9B. Option B. Okay. Not every HREF will work to add the email. So now choose the correct HTML tag for the largest heading. Which will give you the largest heading? H1, H2, H4 or H6? Which one will give you the largest heading? Largest heading. Are you sure, devil? H1? Or is it H6? Next time, लिखिला बेलू को टिके ध्यान से लिखो. H1 and H6, both what they are giving. Okay. This one is actually H6. This one is not H1. It is H6. Okay. Which of the following is not an attribute of font tag? Is not an attribute for font tag. Not an attribute for the font tag. Which of the following is not an attribute of the font tag? Is it color or BG color or size or face? Is it not blurring out, right? Blur हो चुकी, देखा जाऊँ ठीक से? Okay, 11 is what? 11 is face, that's correct. Which of the following is not an attribute for the font tag? Is the face. Okay, li is used to create items of an which list? Either it's for ordered list or unordered list. Twelfth one, li. Which one? li is used to? li is used to create items of n what? Is it for ordered list or is it for unordered list? Neither A or B or both A or B. Digambar Behra. That's true. It's D. Both, sorry, not D. It's neither A nor B. Sorry, C. Okay. Why C? Because li is only to create a list. Okay. But if it is an ordered list, we are using OL. If it is an unordered list, we are using UL. But for li, we are only defining the list items. And we are not using it for ordered list or unordered list. Understood? So it is neither A nor B. For ordered one, OL. For unordered one, UL. For the menu, it is menu. But for the li, we are just using it to create the list. Next, an unordered list can be nested in an unordered list, can be nested in another ordered list, or starts with list tag or ends with li tag. Which option? Okay, so an ordered list. Which one will be the correct option? ओडिया मैम ओडिया ओके ओडिया आई विल ट्राई ठीक अच्छे बुझुनी कौन बुझिला नहीं कहतु रविंद्र कौन बुझिला नहीं इंग्लिश बुझुनी ना कौन अधिक कही दउची ओके एबे कहतु एन ऑर्डर्ड लिस्ट can be nested in an unordered list, can be nested in an another ordered list, or starts with list tag or ends with li tag. Sumitra Ponda, this is actually for both A and B, not the D one. Why it is not the D? That an ordered list can be nested in an unordered list and another ordered list also. An ordered list आसी परिबो देर जक भीतर भी नेस्टेड करा जाई पारे गोटे ऑर्डर्ड लिस्ट को ओके गोटे ऑर्डर्ड लिस्ट को तमे अनऑर्डर्ड लिस्ट भीतर भी नेस्टेड करि परिबो ऑर्डर्ड लिस्ट भीतर भी नेस्टेड करि परिबो ओके सो द फर्स्ट टू ऑप्शंस आर करेक्ट फॉर दिस ऑर्डर्ड लिस्ट वन ओके नेक्स्ट which of the following control allows the user to select multiple values? Which one? मु जदि स्क्रीन आगु को जेबी तमन को प्रटर स्क्रीन देखा जिवनी सेति पई मु टिके साइड रहउची ताकि तमन को स्क्रीन बेटर देखा जाओ okay so which of the following control allows the user to select multiple values? That is checkbox control. Correct. For many, for multiple selections, we are going for the checkbox. Which of the following is not a form of form control in HTML? Form control is not a form control. Sorry. ओके एबे वॉइस आछे समस्तन को ओके ठीक अछि चलो which of the following is not form of control in HTML? टिके अच्छा C is not the option. Submit button form रे हमर थाए केबे भी कौन सी फॉर्म टा अगर में चेक करो सेथरे रेडियो बॉक्सेस भी थाए सेथरे चेक बॉक्सेस भी थाए ओके एंड सबमिट बटन भी अदरवाइज हाउ विल यू सबमिट द बटन द फॉर्म ओके सो रिसेट बटन बट बहुत उडे फॉर्म्स रे न थाए ओके करेक्ट सो रिसेट बटन इज नॉट ए फॉर्म कंट्रोल इन HTML सो चेक बॉक्सेस भी तमरो फॉर्म्स रे रहूची रेडियो बॉक्सेस भी रहूची सबमिट बटन अदरवाइज हाउ विल यू सबमिट माने सबमिट केमती करिवो जदि सबमिट बटन ही रखिबनी बट रिसेंट बटन इज नॉट दैट मच फाउंड यू कैन फाइंड आउट माने बहुत तरह देखि परिवनी ओके व्हिच टैग इज यूज्ड टू डिस्प्ले अ पिक्चर ऑन अ वेब पेज चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन जल्दी which tag is used to display a picture on a web page? It is img for image okay एटा तो बहुत इजी भी थिला. चलो, except B, which other tag is used to make text bold? To make a text bold, which other option can be used? जस्ट एबे ही हमें पढ़ी थिले से ऑप्शन टा विषय रे. बोल्ड. आउ किछि अछि? ओके, सो इट इज स्ट्रॉन्ग. ओके, जस्ट एबे केतरा क्वेश्चन आगरो ही हमें स्ट्रॉन्ग विषय डिस्कस करथिले. ओके, सो आफ्टर बी, इफ we want to make the text bold, that is using the strong. Okay, next one. Which of the following is not a pair tag? नॉर्मली हमर HTML रे देखथबो टैग्स जोडा को स्टार्ट होची एंड एंड होची, बट एथरो कोटा गोटे जोडा की पेयर हो नाही. P, U, I और image. जदि बोल्ड तमे भाबुचो, so just go for the ChatGPT or Google. Try to find out. Okay, if you feel like my answer is wrong, then try in ChatGPT or Gemini. आजकल तो बहुत किछि अछि, Google रे भी तमे चेक करि परिबो जे which answer is correct, whether it is strong or bold. You can check out that. Okay, so yeah, so we were talking about the which of the following is not a pair tag. That's correct, it's image. Okay, IMG. Next, to create an HTML document you require days, a web page editing software, or high powered computer, notepad, or none of this. कोथरे आमे HTML document आमे create करबा यूज करूचे. To create an HTML document we require what? किछि असुविधा नहीं, जल्दी आपण आंसर दियंतु, आमे भी जल्दी जल्दी कंप्लीट करिक जिबा. ठीक अछि? That's correct, it's C, notepad. Next option. The properties of an HTML element or tag is called the properties of an HTML tag. Sorry, element or tag, anyone? Properties. भाई एठी के आर्ट्स रो आस्था होचंदी के साइंस के कॉमर्स. ओके, डोंट वरी. तमे जदि आर्ट्स रो आसीचो, बाकी अन्य बहुत जने भी आर्ट्स रो ही आसीथिबे. Don't worry for that. That's true. Devil, its attributes. Correct. Next, HTML documents are saved in what format? को format रे हमें ताको सेव करू. In which format we are saving the document? चलो जल्दी आंसर करो ताकि हमें भी स्पीड अप करके जिबा. किछ असुविधा नहीं. HTML documents are saved in what text? Gomango. Yes, that's C. ASCII text. Okay, so HTML documents are saved in ASCII text. Next one, the tags which enclose text inside them are the tags which enclose text inside them. बहुत इजी क्वेश्चंस, जल्दी जल्दी तमे कहि परिबो आंसर, किछि असुविधा नहीं. The tags which enclose text inside them. ओके चलो एबे जस्ट आमे पढ़िथिले which are getting paid and which are not getting paid, so it's a paid tax हैला, it's a paid tag. Next, okay, so एतिके तमरा कंप्लीट हेची HTML रो. Next we are coming to the programming. Okay, so see how many of programmers are here who can develop the best programs. What happens if constructor of class A is made private? Private, public, protected, समझते जानिथिबे निहाती भाबे. So what happens if constructor of a class is made private? चलो प्रोग्रामिंग को एथर आसंतु. What happens if constructor of a class A is made private? जदि private करा ही गला constructor class A रो, so what will happen? Any class can instantiate objects of a class A, or objects of class A can be instantiated only within the class where it is declared, or inherited class can instantiate objects of class A. Classes within the same package as class A can instantiate objects of class A. B. Nandan, that's correct. Praveen, that's correct. Correct. Its objects of class A can only be instantiated within the class where it is being declared. Next, all the variables of an interface should be variables of an interface. Interface टा में कहीं की यूज करूचो समस्त को जाना थी perfectly. So when we have an interface, so what all the variables inside the interface should be? News. No problem, Siddhant. You can continue with it. Okay. All the variables of an interface should be, that's correct, it's C, public, static and final. Otherwise, how we will call the interface to use? Outside of the class, okay? So it must be public. What is true of final class? What is true of final class? Final class. What is true for the final class? This C for which question? Gamango. Runtime error, runtime failure. Do you feel like that? Okay. So what is true for final class? For the final class, that final class cannot be inherited or cannot be subclassed. Okay. जदि हमें final class विषय कहूचे तो final class cannot be inherited. Okay. Which inheritance in Java programming is not supported? Java programming रे which of the inheritance is not getting supported? के कहि परबे यार आंसर? बहुत इजी एटा, बहुत अधिका. Which inheritance in Java programming is not supported? Inheritance विषय हमें जदि जानी छे properly. How many types of inheritance we have in Java we are using? So which inheritance we are not using? आसीबा बुलियन अलजेब्रा को भी आसीबा किछि असुविधा नहीं फर्स्ट एटा हमें क्वेश्चन आंसर फर्स्ट कंप्लीट करना बहुत अल्प ही रहिला बाकी बहुत जल्दी हम एटा कंप्लीट करिकी हमर बुलियन अलजेब्रा स्टार्ट करबा ओके that's correct devil that's correct it's multiple inheritance using classes okay this one what is subclass in java subclass in java subclass is a class that extends another class subclass is a class declared inside a class both above or none of the above so has given devil a okay that's correct devil that subclass is a class that extends another class if class b is subclassed from class a then which is the correct syntax which is the correct syntax if we are writing which one class b okay if class b is subclassed from class a then which is the correct syntax I'm not seeing anything c class b extends class a sure the syntax is subclass class subclass name extends superclass this is the actual syntax okay class subclass name extends superclass name this is the actual syntax for inheriting or class b inheriting the class a okay understood so the option b is the correct one next order of execution of constructors in java inheritance is order of execution of constructors base to derived class or derived class to base class or random order okay order of execution of constructors in java inheritance is what base to derived class or derived to base class who has given the answer base to derived class that's it that's correct next okay jaldi jaldi answer diyo inheritance relationship in java language is association is a has a or none association is a has a or none inheritance relationship in java That's B. Correct. Vidya Dhara. That's correct. Digambar Behra. Correct. That's B. Okay. It's not has A. It's is A. It's not has A. Devil. It's is A relationship. Okay. If anywhere anyone is having doubt, check it again. Okay. No problem. So it's a is A relationship. Okay. Next. Come to the next question. Advantage of inheritance in Java programming is or are code reusability, code extendability, safe development time, or all. As much faster you will answer, that much faster we will go. Advantages of inheritance. That's correct. All. Devil, that's correct. So which of the following is or are true statements? A class can extend only one class but can implement many interfaces. An interface can extend many interfaces. An interface can implement another interface. An interface can implement a class. So which one is actually true? Which of the following is or are true statements for interface? Question number 10. The answer of the question number 10. Devil, that's true. A class can extend only one class but can implement many interfaces. But it is also true, an interface can extend many interfaces also. So both A and B are coming correct here. Okay. Om Prakash, A is also correct. True here. Okay. But let me tell you, I need to see your answer. So ମୁଁ ବାରମ୍ବାର ତଳକୁ ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ଓହ୍ଲଉଛି ତାକି ମୁଁ ତମମାନଙ୍କର ଆନ୍ସର ବି ଦେଖିପାରେ. And if you don't want me to see your answer or communicate with you, तो ठीक ଅଛି ମୁଁ ଏଠି ଛିଡ଼ା ହେଇକି ଆନ୍ସର ଗୁଡ଼ାକ ଦେଇଦେଇ ପଳେଇବି. ବେଟର ହବ ନା? Which class cannot be subclassed? को क्लास को सबक्लास करा जाई परिबो नाही. Which class cannot be subclassed? That's correct, Devil. That's final class, which cannot be subclassed. Already question answer to दिया है. Which is or are false statements for final class? जल्दी जल्दी आंसर दियो. चलो. Which is or are false statements? Final class cannot be inherited. Final method can be inherited. Final method can be inherited. Final method cannot be overridden. Final variable of a class cannot be changed. So को answer टा हबो भाबुचो एथरु. Let me see for once. both B and C. It's actually C. Final method can be overridden. Okay. We are not talking about the final class, but final method. Final method can be overridden. Okay. So which cannot be inherited from a base class in Java programming? Cannot be inherited. Constructor or final method? Which cannot be inherited? Which cannot be inherited? Okay. So no, as no one is answering. Constructor cannot be inherited. कहीं ना constructor सब class रा निजस्व ही थाए. Their own constructor. Okay. Maybe it's a default constructor, or maybe you are writing the parameterized or non-parameterized constructor. But whatever the constructor is there, still it cannot be inherited from the base class. Specifically in Java. But if you are talking about the Python, constructor को भी करा जाए पारे. चलो. Which cannot be inherited from a base class in Java programming? Again, number question, if everyone is able to see, which cannot be inherited from a base class in Java programming? number question answer. Chalo, jaldi. Which cannot be inherited from a base class in Java programming? Okay, so Devil, let me ask you this one question. So that's correct, cannot override private method of a class. But is it true or false that protected methods are visible to only immediate child class? Is it true or false? To Devil, I'm asking. A protected method is visible to only immediate child class or not? No problem, Deepak Mahanto. Not everyone is a master here, okay? So whatever you feel right, try to answer it. For attempting, no one is saying no. Okay, so which cannot be inherited from a base class in Java programming? Devil has answered, cannot override private methods of a class. But I had this question that protected methods are visible to only immediate child class or not? Immediate child class means, suppose the base class is A and class B extends A. So in that case, child class B becomes the immediate child class for the A. Okay. धरी नियंतु ओडिया रे कहि दउची जे धरी नियंतु हमर गोटे बेस क्लास अछि A. So class A रो class B extend हेची. So we are writing class B extends A. Okay. So जेतबेले A स्टेटमेंट आमे लिखुचे से जगह कोन हला क्लास A रो B क्लास होची डायरेक्ट और इमीडिएट चाइल्ड. ओके. तो एमिति एग्जांपल नै परिबा जे जेजे बापा अछंती तमे अछो. ओके. तो जेजे बापा को और तुमको डायरेक्ट रिलेशनशिप किए कहबनी केबे. You are related by your father, but for you and your father it is a direct or immediate relationship in that way. Okay, जदि कहा को बुझी आसिलानी आउ थरे बुझेबी. Yes, that's true. It is visible. Protected methods are only visible to the immediate child. Okay. Next, public methods of a class are visible to all. Of course, we know it, everyone we know about it. Correct? If there are some of the public methods are in a class, everyone can see that. It is visible to everyone. Understood now? So what is the answer right now? तो एबे कौन आंसर हबो? It is the answer all. Okay. So next. To prevent a class to be inherited or extended, the class should be which one? Final or abstract or both? Yes, Om Prakash, that's true. It's final class. Why it is the final class? Because final class always, as it is the complete class, and because of that reason, it prevents any kind of extensive designing or formatting in it. Okay. As final class is always the complete class, and because of that, it is not allowing or preventing any kind of modification in the same class. So it is the final class. Next, which of this class is super class of every class in Java? This is the very, very easy question. And I want answer from everyone here. Which of this class is the super class of every class in Java? Devil, that's correct. It's an object class. Next one, which of these methods of object class can clone an object? Can clone an object? CS ro MCQ already sir को submit करा ही सारी छी. Sir will submit, give it to you. Okay. Well, C++ and data structure morning class ही थिला. सेटा already submit करा ही सारी. Sir अपन मन को submit कर दी थिबे कि करिवे. And रहला SQL and Boolean algebra रो just I will, after completing the class I will submit it. I'll give it. Okay. Which of these method of object class can clone an object? Either it's object clone or object copy, or only copy or clone. There are many reasons for not being able to read. It's not possible for present. Copy. It's, I think, object clone, which is C. Yeah, Deepak Mahanta, that's correct. It's object clone. The option C, object clone. Okay. Next. Which of these keywords can be used to prevent inheritance of a class? Which keyword is used to prevent inheritance? Is used to prevent inheritance. Very easy. It's very easy. Already we had studied about it. ଏବେ ଆମେ just ଏଇ word ଉପରେ practice କରିଥିଲେ. That's correct. D. Correct. It's final. The final class prevents inheritance. Which of this class relies upon its subclasses for complete implementation of its method? Complete implementation of its method. Question number 19. Questions are there yet. Okay, so some of the questions has left. Only 1 or 2 questions has left. We will complete it faster. So which of these class relies upon its subclasses for complete implementation of its methods? So the class relies upon its subclasses for complete implementation of its methods. Okay, so most of you has answered this object class. Okay, that's correct. Now, if a class inheriting an abstract class doesn't define all of its functions, then it will be known as, if a class inheriting an abstract class twentieth question. After that, we are ending this session here. If a class inheriting an abstract class does not define all of its function, then it will be known as static class. Vivek, what happened? Okay, so what is that class? Abstract class, simple class, or static class? The final. It's a static class. I took the name Vivek. Vivek or Vivek? Okay? For today, this session has completed. How much you understood, how much you had gone through, or how much your knowledge you had gained. जहाँ भी तमें कौन नॉलेज पाइलो एथरू कौन टोटली डिपेंड्स ऑन यू बट गोटे भल प्रैक्टिस सेशन हेथिबो भाबुची सो वेल बेस्ट ऑफ लक फॉर द नेक्स्ट एग्जाम okay then